Bret Hart, born on July 2, 1957, in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, is widely regarded as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. He was the eighth of 12 children in the Hart family, a dynasty deeply entrenched in professional wrestling, with his father, Stu Hart, being a prominent figure in the wrestling business and the founder of the legendary Hart Dungeon, where many top wrestlers trained. Bret Hart's wrestling career began in the early 1970s when he trained in his father's dungeon, a grueling and rigorous training ground. After honing his skills, Bret made his debut in 1978, initially working for his father's promotion, Stampede Wrestling. He quickly gained attention for his technical ability, charismatic presence, and in-ring storytelling, setting the stage for a future in the global wrestling spotlight. In the early 1980s, Bret expanded his career by working for various promotions, including the American Wrestling Association, AWA. However, it was in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now known as WWE, where he would achieve his greatest success. Bret signed with the WWF in 1984, initially serving as a tag team wrestler before making a name for himself as a singles competitor. His breakthrough came in 1991, when he won his first WWF Intercontinental Championship, solidifying his place as one of the top stars in the company. His work ethic and versatility in the ring earned him the nickname, the Excellence of Execution. In 1992, Bret Hart reached the pinnacle of his career when he won the WWF World Heavyweight Championship for the first time, defeating Ric Flair at a house show. His reign as champion during the early 1990s was marked by exceptional matches and rivalries, particularly with the likes of Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Yokozuna. His in-ring ability was complemented by his authenticity and his dedication to the craft, creating memorable moments for fans that would stand the test of time. During this period, Bret became a global sensation, known for his ability to put on high-quality matches with a variety of opponents, regardless of their size or style. He became the cornerstone of the WWF's new generation era, embodying the virtues of hard work and respect within the industry, while also balancing the flashy persona of the larger-than-life figures that dominated the wrestling scene at the time. Bret's popularity peaked in the mid-1990s, and he became the face of the company during a time when WWF was transitioning out of the Hulk Hogan era. His feud with Shawn Michaels, particularly their rivalry over the WWF Championship, is considered one of the most iconic in wrestling history, culminating in their famous Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12 in 1996. Though Bret's departure from the company and the infamous Montreal Screwjob in 1997 would forever change the course of his career and the wrestling business. The Montreal Screwjob, which took place at Survivor Series 1997, saw Bret Hart lose the WWF Championship to Shawn Michaels in a controversial fashion. The event was a culmination of real-life tensions between Bret and WWE owner Vince McMahon. The betrayal left a bitter taste in Bret's mouth, and he soon made the decision to leave WWE, moving to rival promotion World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Hart's time in WCW, however, was not as successful as his WWF run. Despite being signed as one of the company's top stars, Bret struggled with creative direction and the company's changing landscape during the Monday Night Wars. Although he won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on multiple occasions, his time in WCW did not reach the same heights as his tenure in WWF. After years of frustrations and missed opportunities, Bret eventually left WCW in 2000. In the years that followed, Bret faced significant personal struggles, including a devastating stroke in 2002. His recovery was remarkable, and he returned to the wrestling world in 2004, making sporadic appearances for WWE. Bret reconciled with Vince McMahon in 2010, putting to rest the animosity that had marked their earlier years, and he made his return to WWE television, where he was celebrated for his legacy. Throughout his career, Bret Hart was known for his technical mastery in the ring, his ability to work with a diverse range of opponents, and his emphasis on storytelling and psychology. His influence is seen in countless wrestlers who have followed in his footsteps, many of whom cite him as a major influence. His legacy as one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time is undisputed, and he is revered by fans and peers alike for his dedication to the art of professional wrestling. Bret Hart's career, both in and out of the ring, has cemented his place as one of the most respected and beloved figures in wrestling history. He has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame twice, once as a solo inductee in 2006, and again in 2019 with his family, the Hart Foundation. His contributions to the sport have made an indelible mark on the world of professional wrestling. Bret Hart's influence extended beyond just his in-ring work. He was instrumental in shaping the wrestling landscape during a time of significant transition. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, while many wrestlers were focused on the larger-than-life personas and entertainment aspects of the industry, Bret brought a level of realism and technical proficiency that resonated with a more serious fan base. His matches often emphasized the fundamentals of wrestling, such as mat work, holds, counters, and psychology, which set him apart from more flamboyant personalities of the era. His technical ability became his trademark, and it earned him the respect of his peers, especially in an era where the WWE's product was shifting towards a more athletic, match-based style. Bret's work ethic, discipline, and commitment to making every match count earned him the reputation of being a wrestler's wrestler, a term used to describe someone who had the technical ability to entertain fans through pure wrestling rather than relying on outside gimmicks or excessive theatrics. Bret Hart's rivalries throughout his career were legendary, and his feuds with wrestlers like Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and The Undertaker are some of the most talked about in wrestling history. The Hart-Michaels rivalry, in particular, was a focal point of WWE's programming in the 1990s, and their matches became benchmarks of the era. Bret's ability to have compelling, long-running storylines, both as a babyface good guy and heel bad guy, demonstrated his versatility and depth as a performer. Perhaps one of Bret's most enduring legacies was the way he paved the way for future generations of wrestlers. His commitment to a high level of in-ring performance, his respect for the history of the business, and his focus on storytelling influenced not only future stars, but also the overall evolution of professional wrestling. Wrestlers like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and even John Cena have cited Bret Hart as a key inspiration in their careers. After leaving WCW, Bret's life outside of wrestling also played a significant role in his story. His personal struggles, including the loss of his brother Owen Hart in 1999, profoundly impacted him. Owen's tragic death during a WWE pay-per-view event left Bret devastated, and it was a moment that deeply shaped both his personal and professional life. His recovery from the stroke in 2002 was a testament to his resilience and determination, as he was able to reclaim his place in the public eye and make sporadic appearances, showing that his impact on the industry was far from over. Bret's return to WWE in 2010, following years of animosity and bitterness, was one of the most emotional and satisfying moments in wrestling history. His reconciliation with Vince McMahon and his return to television in a more mature, reflective role allowed him to leave a final positive mark on the company. His appearances helped bridge the gap between the past and present of WWE, allowing newer fans to appreciate his contributions while giving longtime followers of his career a chance to see their hero one last time. In addition to his wrestling career, Bret Hart also dabbled in other ventures. He authored his autobiography, Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling, which became a critically acclaimed bestseller, offering an honest and unflinching look at his life and career. Bret has also been involved in acting and made cameo appearances in various TV shows and movies, though his true passion remained the wrestling business. Bret Hart's impact is still felt today. In recognition of his enduring legacy, the WWE honored him with several accolades, including his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006 and his second induction in 2019 with the Hart Foundation. His Hall of Fame induction was a testament to his influence on the business and his undeniable importance in shaping the future of professional wrestling. Despite his ups and downs in his career, Bret Hart remains a symbol of professionalism, dedication, and excellence in wrestling. His legacy endures not just in the history books, but in the hearts of the millions of fans who remember the incredible matches, unforgettable moments, and the unmatched skill that made him the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. As Bret Hart's career continued to shape the industry, his influence transcended the ring, with his work ethic and persona leaving a lasting impact on the culture of professional wrestling. He has consistently been recognized as one of the pioneers who helped elevate the art of in-ring wrestling during the 1990s, a period when many fans sought more realistic and technical content, in contrast to the larger-than-life personas that had dominated the 1980s. After his return to WWE, Bret's role in the company evolved. His veteran perspective helped contribute to new directions for WWE programming. As part of his appearances, he became an ambassador for WWE, taking on roles that showcase his legacy and allowed him to pass on wisdom to younger generations of wrestlers. His interactions with contemporary stars, especially during his later years with the company, offered fans a bridge between the Attitude Era and the more modern era of wrestling that followed. Bret's contributions to the development of wrestling, particularly with his technical style, remain a cornerstone of wrestling training today. His influence is seen not just in the matches he had, but also in how he redefined what it meant to be a wrestler. Unlike other stars who primarily relied on charisma or persona, Bret focused on the craft of wrestling itself: storytelling, psychology, and technical execution. This has shaped how many of the top talents view their role in the ring today. As time has passed, Bret Hart has become a legend in wrestling lore, with many of the greatest talents of the 21st century acknowledging his influence. Stars like Chris Jericho, Edge, and Kurt Angle have openly credited Bret with inspiring them to pursue wrestling. His in-ring style of executing smooth transitions, his mastery of submission holds, and his storytelling through wrestling matches set a standard that continues to resonate in modern wrestling. Additionally, Bret's ability to connect with fans on an emotional level has made his career more than just a series of matches. His intense feuds, such as his battles with Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker, weren't just about the physical contest, but about the stories they told. Bret's relationship with fans was deeply personal. He often portrayed a character who embodied hard work and dedication, which resonated with the blue-collar audience that adored him. His portrayal of a hero, both in his prime and later in his career, became something fans could relate to on a personal level. Beyond his work in the ring and his role as a mentor, Bret Hart's legacy also expanded through his family. His children, particularly his son Blade Hart, have occasionally appeared in the wrestling world, continuing the Hart legacy. Bret's influence on the next generation of wrestlers, both in terms of technique and mindset, ensures that his impact will continue for many years. In his later years, Bret has also remained active outside of wrestling by engaging in charity work and supporting causes important to him, such as those related to mental health and stroke recovery. His perseverance in the face of personal challenges, including the loss of his brother Owen, his own stroke, and ongoing health issues, has solidified his status as a symbol of strength and determination. As a pop culture figure, Bret Hart's influence can be seen in the ways wrestling has evolved and how fans continue to regard his era with reverence. His reputation as one of the best to ever step foot in the ring is secure, with his matches remaining timeless examples of wrestling at its finest. Despite the controversies and personal struggles that marked certain parts of his career, Bret's impact on the sport will forever be remembered as one of the most significant in the history of professional wrestling. Bret Hart, who once said, "You don't have to be the biggest, the strongest, or the most flamboyant. You just have to be the best at what you do," continues to be a shining example of what it means to be an enduring legend in the world of professional wrestling.